Hey, hey, everyone, and welcome to the
The
hellscape that has already
audacity.
started, 2025. Because look, I told 2025 it needed to come in here and sit his ass little ass down. Don't
Listen,
touch nothing.
don't touch anything.
And ain't listened yet. It's
I
acting like
kept
a
trying
little
to tell
badass kid
2025,
with
we're
silver
not
cap
bringing
teeth.
2024 in with us. We're not bringing no old stuff in.
It already has. It's
No.
acting like a little kid with some silver cap teeth.
Oh my God.
Look, look,
Not you
look.
calling Bo out.
No, but not, I ain't named no names. But you did. But anywho, y'all, welcome back to the Audacity podcast, where you can get all of your sources of audacious tea and sewing and crafting within this space. I am one of your hosts, who is actually in a good mood today with a little bit of energy, a little pep in the step.
We celebrate.
Julian of Julian Creates. And who has been reintroduced to the world?
Ooh,
Give us the information.
allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is still Aaronica for sure. Um,
That ain't changed.
It didn't change, but I did do a rebrand, and instead of the needle and the bell, we are just Aaronica B Studio. And I made that intentional shift. One, because I am back to coaching this year, which I'm super excited about, but also because I'm really focusing um, on teaching, on education, on that sort of thing. And I felt like utilizing studio would allow me to open myself up for that because I don't know,
Mhm.
maybe I also might end up showing a line or two. Who knows?
Come on. Come
You
on. I love it. You better brand yourself for future opportunities.
This is what I'm saying, right? We
Yes, I
got to
love
begin
it.
with the end in mind.
Be nimble, be quick, jump over candlesticks when necessary.
Hey,
But
I feel like
y'all, we are so happy to be back.
we
Um,
are.
life, and rest is restorative, and an act of resistance when necessary, and a political act, especially for Black people. And we needed to do that. So we
Yes.
did.
Because you know what, there's actually a couple of hot topics that are
Child.
currently happening that you know what? It's above us. The first one being, of course, what's happening with Blake Lively and Justin B. What is his last name? You know, from It Ends Well.
Timberlake,
No, not Timberlake. Listen, there's more than one Justin in the world.
you talk about people.
You
I
know,
could.
the director for It Ends With Us, but you know what? That's
Oh,
not Black people business. So you know
it
that's
ain't.
why you don't know it. Just
I
like
don't.
everything that's currently happening with Twitch's like
Child.
Allison,
That does anger me.
it angers me. But here's the thing, and somebody said this on Threads, and they were like, "Black women, this isn't our fight to fight because he chose to be with her. That was his choice, and in
and
that,
which I get, but also yes, I get that. And you are all the way right. But the way that she's trying to capitalize on this Black man's pain and call it sensationalize what he was doing, like no, and that's wrong. But honestly, vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. That's what the Bible says. That's Bible. So we're gonna let the Lord fight that battle,
indeed, we
as
are
well as Twitch fight it from the other side. Because when I tell you she will never know peace,
never.
she will not know peace and won't
Speaking of
understand why.
unknown and hauntings, I
Hmm.
don't know if you all follow Benny Steak on TikTok or on Instagram, but she's hilarious. She's so funny. So today she posted this, and she does a lot of like stitches where she like reacts to people and their shenanigans, a whole
Hmm.
lot of malarkey. So she posted this stitch with this woman who was like, questions I get asked about my child who died. And she's over here like twerking and dancing. And I'm just like, let me tell you something. Let my mama do some foolishness like that. I'm gonna haunt you. I'm coming back to haunt every day of your life because what?
Ciao.
So also let this be the public service announcement that if you decide to do some shenanigans in honor of my death, I'm coming back from the grave to haunt you. Okay. I know my kids don't listen to this podcast. However, this podcast has put it out there for the world. Let y'all do some craziness in my name. I'm coming back from beyond the grave.
It's one of those, if you show your ass, I will show mine, and mine's is
You
bigger.
will never be able to find your car keys ever. Them lights
But-
will always be flickering. Okay.
And your smoke detector will never know a good battery.
Mm-mm. Ever. It's going to always be beep interrupting you. Okay.
Yes.
All
Yes.
right. Yeah.
Yes.
I will come back.
Mm-hmm.
Mark my words.
You're gonna be having adult time, and I'm gonna make sure a gospel song just start playing on your playlist.
Be
You're
out
gonna get
here
some Shirley
fornicating.
Caesar.
I'm just joking.
You're gonna get some Shirley Caesar or something.
Mm-hmm. Blasting.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And she has a song called "I Remember Mama,"
Mm-mm.
and that's what's gonna play in a happy way.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm coming back. I will be the haunting. Okay.
See?
So, yes.
People need to do right. But it's just that, and then of course we definitely pray for those in California right now who are
Yes.
dealing with those issues because that is definitely just on a level that like is crazy, like has never before been seen, but just reminds us that global like climate change and everything
Mhm.
is real real. So let's be
Also,
mindful.
as we are supporting people who are navigating the loss of material things,
Hmm.
and I lost my car, and of course I'm grateful for my life, but I also feel like when people say things like, "Oh, but it's just stuff," it really minimizes what the loss is, right? Because we have no idea what it took for them to accumulate the stuff, quote unquote stuff, whether that stuff holds memories for them, what
Right.
memories those are. And in essence, when we say things like, essentially get over it, it's just stuff, it minimizes that pain, it minimizes the work that it came from, it minimizes the legacy that was possibly handed down. So please let's not say that to the people who are currently battling loss of material things in these
Hmm.
fires, because it is more than just, right? We live in a capitalistic society. It would be different if we did not live in a capitalistic society, but our society is based upon capital, and to lose that is a big thing. To
Right.
lose that is hard, especially because the people who were saying, oh, it's just material things, are not going to be the ones who help you to recoup those things so that you can live. We have seen rise in homelessness after major events like this that have displaced people from their homes because they are
Mhm.
not able to replace said stuff. So please do not minimize people's pain as they are navigating this time right now.
Absolutely. And let's also, I mean, also, as we live in this capitalistic society, people are having to deal with that right now. As we're seeing, um, what's going on is that some of these companies are reducing fire insurance.
Hmm.
So, as a state is dealing with one of the largest fires it's ever seen. So let's just be very, very real, very conscious. And this is more than thoughts and prayers, but as
Yes.
much as we love our sewing machines, our life, our different things like that, imagine
Yes.
all of that happening. I was watching a video of a man saying, I have 65 years of life in that house.
65 years of life.
And he said, as he was like, I think I'm going to break down again. And he was on air. He's like, I don't want to do that right now. So, just yeah, let's just be mindful. And then y'all in down south, y'all about to have 2 inches of snow, and that's a blizzard for y'all. Y'all about to shut down for
Okay, so first of all,
17
you're not
years.
coming for us that way, okay? They said between 6 to 8. Thank you.
Child, y'all ain't never gonna open up again.
Ever. Now, I'm not gonna lie. Now, the last time that we got this much snow, which was not our last major storm, but the last time that we did have like that amount of snow, was probably about 13 years ago. Um, and it was as Kalima was about to turn 1, because I just moved back to Georgia. And
Hmm.
we had moved into our new house. And at the time, I was living with my best friend and we were raising our daughters together. And we had all of this snow. And I still have video footage on Facebook of us running outside to like jump in the snow. In fact, she's actually from California and, I'm from New York. And so, we have just like adult women having fun in the snow. And then we came inside and like we ran inside and like we're slipping and sliding all over the place. And like you could see like the video footage of it kind of looking a little Blair Witch Project-ish. But like it was fun. Now the time before this time was close to 10 years ago, almost 11 years ago. I was pregnant with Aurora
Mm,
and Atlanta streets shut down. At the time, I worked, we like my husband and I, we worked in Alpharetta and
hmm.
we lived in Woodstock. And so for reference, if you look at this on the map, it's essentially the same distance north and it's just kind of like further east essentially. And like we lived maybe 6 miles away from where we worked. We were stuck in traffic for 6.5 hours
The
to the
devil is a
point where we
liar.
got out and walked. Like we got to Kalima, we picked her up, and
Hmm.
she only went to school like 3 miles away from where we worked. It took us 3 hours to get there, and we left work early, picked her up. Then we just had to abandon the car and walk home. And we walked 2.5 miles home. On our way home, someone did end up picking us up, and we just had to walk essentially from the entryway from our house, like for our housing complex, and walk to our
Yeah.
house. But listen, I had like a pot roast that was on slow cooking because I was like, oh, this is gonna be so great to come home to. Shit was destroyed. Okay. There was pot. Okay. It's pot burned, not
Right.
roasted. Okay. Um,
Lord.
so, if you guys are listening to this in Atlanta and enjoying the snowstorm, schools are already closed. So, be safe and have a good time.
Lord. So here in Cincinnati, we have basically been like I haven't been in the office yet this week. We got I think this was the most snow since either 96 or 1977.
Wowzers.
And then so like by my house, I got like around 11 inches of snow. Um, and then we're supposed to get snow again tomorrow, but we'll only get 1 to 3. So literally today is Thursday when we're recording. And last night we finally got out of snow emergency. We have been in a snow emergency since Monday. Hmm.
Wow. That's
Hmm.
incredible. And if you guys are missing some of the snow, make sure that you go ahead and check out Julian's feed where he showcased him wearing a beautiful fur coat as he went out to go ahead and dust his car off
I
in
did. I did. I did. And
So
it's
if you
funny,
guys do,
as I plan to talk, there will definitely, I need to make a YouTube video about it. And that is, we'll talk about goals this year, but
yeah.
uh, definitely diving more into the history bag of things. But there was a video put out by a YouTuber that I really enjoy around fashion history and talking about
Hmm.
when did fur coats go out of style and was very interesting. And it was very truthful and provided a lot of context and history. But from a perspective, I'm like, it ain't never left my community, my sphere.
Yeah, yeah,
It has always been a style. It's always been a point of privilege and confidence to have a fur coat.
yeah.
But I'm a black person who go to church. Totally
Yes.
different. And she was talking about, yeah, we stopped seeing fur coats in the 50s and 60s and 70s. I'm like, maybe for y'all, but not for us. And I
Right.
reached out to her and asked if I can make a response and talk about it from subset groups. Um, so I plan to do that, and I've been doing some research on fur coats and different things like that, and it has just made me want more.
It's funny because like I feel like within our community, right,
Hmm.
they are very much so an heirloom that gets passed down from generation to generation.
No, I'm not here for me.
Like
Like,
for us, and like, you know, I definitely have family that's in the Detroit area where I feel
mhm.
like, do you even live in Detroit if you don't have a fur coat?
At
You know what I'm
least,
saying?
at
But it's
least.
definitely passed down because like whereas now, don't get me wrong, because I'm all definitely like save the animals and everything like that. I probably would not buy a real fur coat. But we also know that um like fake fur is very it's not good. Like
No, no.
not good for
So
the earth.
I'm all about vintage fur. Like that's if I'm going to have a fur coat, it's usually probably going to be vintage. But literally, I was just looking online, and it was a friend, like a Facebook friend's birthday, and he just bought him a new fur coat. He bought him like a Fox bomber jacket.
Oh, okay, that sounds fire, actually.
And look, he
I
might
do
be
feel like there
he might be
are
in Detroit though.
kinder ways and more sustainable ways to do fur coats, and I think that I think we're finally seeing the balance of that, right? Like if the fox was caught, skinned, and eaten, and all parts of him, and of course this is coming from I feel like a more native background,
Right,
right? If
right,
all parts of him are used, then yeah, of course we're having a fox jacket, right? Because every part of that fox is going to be used. We don't know why
right,
he died or anything like that, but at the same time, like I believe that if we're using all of the parts of the animal after their death, then that is more sustainable, especially if they are not something that is an endangered species, and if we're not being overzealous about it, right? I think
right.
that in sustainable fashion, when it comes to talking about fur and animal, like including leathers, of course,
Hmm.
suedes that are authentic, we do have to factor in the sustainability of it. And I think that we
Right.
are finally at a place where we're seeing that because like this year has probably been, and of course, like I left corporate America to be a sustainability blogger, so it's not new for me to see sustainability up on my feeds and stuff like that.
Hmm.
But I will say that this is the first year that I have seen so much talk about sustainability and slow making within our sewing community. And I feel like going forward, we're seeing more of the upcycling. So take it instead of throwing away scraps, right? So like the bags that we stocked in my store, and I say stocked is in past tense because I'm shutting it down because I'm over it. But those bags are in essence made from fabrics or leathers or suede that would have otherwise been just thrown away.
Right,
So
right,
because we're seeing this forefront of upcycling really at the top of the year, which I'm loving, and we're seeing more of this, I do feel like we're going to be more sustainable and more mindful about even the furs and the leathers and those things. Because I do feel like leather is, I mean, not leather, but like fur is fine as long as we not out here just like slaughtering for the sake of a jacket, you
right.
know?
No, yeah, and hence why, like, here's my thing. I believe I don't want life to go to waste, so that's why I like vintage, and I think that especially if it can be rehabbed or remoisturized, all that good stuff,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to luxuriate in a mink or whatever. I won't do a lot of the exotics because that's a little too far for me.
Yeah.
But um, Goodwill be having them, and I'm gonna buy them.
Because you know what, we saving it from going to someplace else.
Hmm. So the one that literally the one that I was wearing on in that little video, I
Mhm.
had just gotten that one from Goodwill. It's rabbit, but and I'm trying to work my way up to a mink mink.
And I'm over here like, oh, I feel like I need a rabbit who has fur like that. Not, to kill, but because I was like, damn, that would be fun to snuggle with, right?
I'd rather have the coat.
Okay.
I'd rather have the coat. But and Hoodles, and and even just social media has lost its mind. Like we don't know what's about to happen, if we about to lose TikTok or not. If we are, a lot of us, like I moved over to Twitch. I'm on all different platforms. Julian creates everywhere. Feel free to go check me out. I'm gonna start doing more lives over there. But then also, Meta has decided that fact checking and stuff like that is no longer a thing. But here's my thing. Here's my thing on that. They want to show their ass, I can show mine, and mine's is bigger. So if they want to talk truth and say whatever, I'm gonna say whatever too, and speak real truths. And I bet not get censored when I say truth.
Mm.
When
I'm
I
like,
say,
that we about to get, but whatever. Neither here nor there.
I mean, look, because if this is how we want to go, we can go. So if people want to say some untruths or people want to come against LGBT people or something like that, and when I say the truth,
Yeah.
my stuff better not be censored.
Which I do actually feel like before we talk about like where we landed on our last year's goals for sewing, right? And do a 2024 quick wrap up for
Hmm.
ourselves on here. One of the things that I would like to do is make sure that we have shared the places that people can find us that are not Instagram and Facebook, right?
Yes.
Because we do know, one, I feel like people know where we are on there.
Hmm.
Even though I did rebrand to Aaronica B Studio, that's what it is there. But where can we find Julian off of Meta first?
Alpha Meta, yeah. So there is juliancreates.com. So my website. YouTube, Julian Creates. Literally, you can Google Julian Creates. I pop up
Hmm. Hmm.
on purpose, and you can find me in those locations. So we are, if you ever looking for me, check out a platform and type in Julian Creates, and I might be there.
Yeah.
I might be there. From Lemonade to
Hmm.
Blue Sky to Lord, all
Yeah.
of them. So,
So I think it's important that we also highlight that we're both on Twitch.
mhm.
Neither of us have come up with our streaming schedule as of yet. As soon as we do develop a streaming schedule, I don't know if we'll stream together. We just might, but as we develop even our individual streaming schedules, we'll be sure to tell you. This is something that is important. Why? Because one, everyone knows that going live on Instagram actually sucks ass anyway.
It
It
does.
is not the easiest platform to go live on because it's always so glitchy, but also because if we're being completely honest, we are creators, right? We are creatives and we intentionally create content for consumption as well as to earn income. And so if you are someone who wants to support us, then you can definitely make sure that you subscribe to both of us on Twitch. Again, Aaronica B. Cole on Twitch, Julian Creates on Twitch, and see about us there. Julian will actually be doing more on YouTube with 2025. He may not have known that that was one of his goals that he added, but I was just seeing that on in there. But um, and I feel like I talk about my YouTube enough and everything like that. I too am on Blue Sky, around it could be cold. So make sure that you're diversifying your social media. And if you are a
Mhm.
creator and you're just like, okay, how do I get a website, that sort of thing. I shared this in my stories yesterday, but I understand that people are confused as to where to start. I actually have a course that I have had for years that I will bring back to help alleviate and help guide people through the whole process of setting up their domains, their websites, their blogs, their websites, that sort of thing. So if you are at a loss of where or of how to do that so that you can own the content, just putting my coaching hat on for one quick second. None of the content that we publish on social media is ours, which
Yeah.
means in the event that someone decides to take down Meta, take down Blue Sky, take down all of these, you do not own that content. That content is gone.
Mhm.
Similarly, if you have a platform that has a lot of quote unquote followers, if they take it down, you have lost all of that, which means that you should be owning the contact information for the people who want to, who actively keep in touch. What I mean by that is having a newsletter list where people are able to subscribe to you, having a website where people can come and see you, where you can share and create your own content that you own, and you are no longer privy to whatever it is, that algorithm that we are all having to navigate or anything like that, right? Or in the event that someone takes something down, you don't have to worry about the loss of being able to contact the people who you want to keep in touch with. So,
Mhm.
um, I also talk obviously a lot more in about that in depth in my coaching sessions. So if you are wondering about that, definitely book some time with me. Coaching hat off. So, Julian,
Yes.
wrap
Yes.
up 2024 for us. Like, what were your high moments? What were some of your not so high moments?
2024. Let's see. Um, part like it was a lot of, especially when in terms of sewing, it was a lot of special event sewing this year. So I was
Mhm.
sewing for events. So from outfit for Blink to frock, all the frock tails.
Mhm.
It was a lot of special event sewing. That's what it felt like mostly. Sewing for a new body, which was interesting and fun. As the sizing still changes, which is craziness still. Um, some different publications that I never thought would be possible came forward and came out. So like the Style Council with Cincinnati Magazine and some other ones and stuff like that. Um, all high points and high moments. Um, low moments, of course, was when my the great collapse of 2024 when my machine just decided to all fall on the floor
Not
when
the
the
great
shelves decided to
collab.
break. Uh, that was one of those existential moments where normally you would like I lost like my emotions. I got eerily still and calm, and all I could hear was like a ringing in my ears a little bit as I was looking at everything. before I just said, okay. My even like I think my voice got everything got deeper and we just okay and went to fix it. I got eerily calm. I don't know how I did it. Um over like there was just a lot mentally. It was not the best of
Mm,
years. I don't know why. It's just not like any can't pinpoint one thing. Um, but yeah, it just kind of feeling a little bit tossed and driven on an angry shore, like on an angry seat type of thing.
mm,
And did not feel settled or rested for a good portion of it. And just second guessing and just did not feel conducive to a lot of creativity and growth. But
yeah.
also good things happen. I taught a class.
Hmm.
I did it on my own. I put that out there. So um it was a growth year. We'll call it that, a growth year. And in growth, usually there is some strife and pain. So what
Um,
about you?
we fall down, but
Look,
we get up. It's not how many times you fall, it's how many times you get up.
but
Okay.
sometimes you know gotta put a little bit gay on them knees as you try to get up. Cause
Listen,
child,
because arthritis is a thing.
look, gotta oil them, slide some oil to them knees, let them
Uh,
trickle down your spine.
yeah. Yeah, no, that's very real. I felt like last year starting out, I was super geeked and I said the same thing to my husband. I was like, yo, every year I start out, I'm excited. I flip my switch. I'm ready to be excited. I'm ready for new stuff, new energy. But the universe doesn't flip the switch along with me.
There's that.
Okay.
Hmm.
Um, and so, 2024, I kicked off fresh from surgery, fresh from my reconstruction surgery. Um,
Hmm.
and I feel like the overarching theme for me in 2024 was falling in love with teaching. Um, Prior to 2024, I really didn't think that I had enough value to offer in order to teach. Like I felt like because I'm self-taught and um because I didn't receive the affirmation from people that I admired in the community for my skill set, that it meant that I was not as good as I wanted to be.
Hmm.
But falling in love with the community of Top Stitch and having someone like Lee believe in me and allow me to take the reins and just kind of run with things really allowed me to believe in myself in a way that I hadn't before. And I'm really grateful for that. Um, Outside of that, like I feel like I feel like I really came into my own and owned actually being someone who was stylish, right? Because being plus size essentially all my life, because like even at my smallest, I'm still considered plus size, right? Although now we have cute terms like mid size and stuff like that.
Come
We
on.
didn't have mid size when I was like smaller. You were plus size or you were standard, right?
Right, right.
Uh, but I will say that I did not accept that I was seen as someone who was stylish because, of course, growing up, that's not what we had. If you were plus size, you were just fat and you were not seen as stylish, and that was not a thing for us. We were supposed to be covering our bodies up with potato sacks and wearing dark colors.
This
So
says, wait a minute, you forgot the t-shirts to say like sassy girl.
oh, with cold shoulders
Yeah, uh-huh.
because our shoulders are always hot, apparently.
Yeah. And you need like a little pumpkin or something like that as an
Oh,
applique.
diva as well.
Yes, diva. Sassy.
Yes.
Mhm.
And while I am actually all of those things, when you truly embody something, you don't have to announce it with a shirt. So my shoulders are
Yeah.
not cold. And
Sure. You sure?
but really, really like walking in and owning my truth and not feeling like I have to shrink or like I'm not supposed to take up space and really taking up space, and feeling comfortable. Last year, I also feel like I really felt really strongly about my voice in advocating for plus sizes and this year I'm excited to take that advocacy of plus size into just even other things like being disabilities, right? And seeing what that looks like and seeing how it feels to be a voice for other communities that are being slighted. So very, very excited about that, right? And of course we know that in sewing, men are always slighted, you know.
They are. But, you know, we
We're kids, honestly.
look,
Boy
look.
clothing, like trying to find dope designs for my son. Exactly.
Is
I didn't
either
even have to get my
93,
size.
is either 93 or we all want to be like street. It has to be a specific style of streetwear that is not always our aesthetic. So,
Right.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Exactly. So, but yeah, I like you, like last year was a struggle mental health wise though.
Jesus, I don't know why.
I had 4 more surgeries on my legs because my
Right.
veins started to fail. And so I was in a lot of pain. Um, having to found out that I have lymphedema, which of course fed into, but also gave me good why on why I didn't lose weight, doing everything in the world. Um, but also experiencing massive weight loss. Like last year, I lost 75 pounds, and
Mm-hmm.
that's big. Um, and I'm proud of myself, but also, it is like that thing of losing weight does not automatically cure you of other things, right? Um,
Absolutely.
because even though I've lost 75 pounds, like I still get the fat comments on my YouTube channel and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm lucky that I feel like I do have a team of doctors that see past weight
Right.
and are treating things that could possibly be wrong with me, like the veins and stuff like that. But I feel like last year I really did a good job of putting my health forward and actually going to see the doctors when something was wrong versus just being like, meh, it'll be okay. You know what I mean?
Right. Uh-huh.
So yeah, I am looking forward to seeing where the lessons that I had gotten in 2024 apply to 2025 in hopes of ease. In the event that the universe is listening to this podcast, I'm ready for ease.
Look, Jesus, Jesus.
Right. I don't know if they got the memo last year, but just
That's
saying it
that's
loud.
what that is gonna be my that's gonna be my slogan. Jesus ease us.
Jesus,
Yes.
ease us. Yes.
Because Lord, it is I want wins this year. I want to feel like I've won. I want to feel like I'm good.
Yeah.
I but then I also realized and in saying that I realized that also too in the dis-ease of it all, sometimes you gotta go through the dis-ease to understand the ease that is for your life.
Mm. Come on, word.
To understand the duality of what is good, you have to experience sadly what is bad or what is evil.
It's very true.
So we say that we want this ease, but then God shows us, well, or in my case, I want these wins or something like that. I realize that in that case, I need to understand and see it for myself and do there's certain things that it is an internal mind shift for me. So I'm trying to also use my words wisely because Lord knows I did not say in all of this, I want lessons right now.
Yeah.
I just want it to happen, which I know is not how that works. So y'all better not comment on that. But anywho, yeah, trying to figure out the all of that. But yes, some ease, but also I just want to be able to sit in a win and feel and take a moment and say you did good. I
Yeah.
don't
And
tell
but
myself enough that I've done good.
not feel like a loss is immediately following. Like
Yes.
not waiting for the other shoe to drop or anything like that.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
So in speaking of that, because I think this is a great part, like we're in this row. We're going down the street here. What are some of your 2025 goals in terms of sewing? Or what are you seeing for yourself going into this new year?
Um, Last year I felt like I focused a lot on tailoring, right? And more
Hmm.
tailored looks, working with a lot more woven fabrics. And this year I want to continue that, honestly. Like I have a desire to make Denver a suit. Like I want to make him a nice, well-tailored suit. And
Mm-hmm.
honestly, doing menswear is something that scares me, and I'm not exactly sure why, but I think it has more to do with because I am not fitting my body, and this is what I'm used to, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, sewing wise, sewing, yes, wise, but more importantly, like just kind of where we are. My goal is to drop more patterns, more indie patterns, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that way I feel like my aesthetic is being represented more,
Mm-hmm.
um, and more ways, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
um, my first design that I'm currently working on is a rugby shirt dress like situation, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you're like me, if you're like, what's the difference between a rugby and a polo? Rugbies are looser fit. Polos have a more fitted nature, more athletic fit. That's the main difference. There is a couple of other nuances that go on in there. Um, but like I'm excited about stuff like that. Like I also want to do a well-tailored suit for myself. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I would like for it to be like, God damn, she put that on. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes.
So I'm hoping that you're going to give me like almost a bar suit, like Christian Dior new look, at least in
Yeah.
the jacket silhouette. In the jacket silhouette, we can do a pencil skirt for the bottom, but in that
Right. I
jacket
actually would
silhouette,
like to do like a nice wide leg trouser.
even
Um,
better. I love it.
you know
Yes.
what I'm saying? Like I want to make a suit that when I put it on, I'm like, your girl feels rich, right?
Come
Not even
on.
rich. I feel wealthy. Like I feel like when I have this suit on, I'm leaving behind generational wealth. You know what I'm
Come on.
saying? Like I'm
She
not
wants
trying to
to
be rich, bitch.
feel
I'm trying to be wealthy.
she wants to give full capitalist, full what is it?
Full capitalist.
Full
I'm
venture
trying to look like I
capitalist.
belong in a
Yes.
different tax bracket. You feel me?
Yes. She is giving investment banker, she is giving angel investor, she is giving hedge fund. She is
She's
giving
giving she's giving big angel investor energy,
come
right?
on.
Because in truth, like one of my big focuses this year, and this sounds superficial, it sounds like it's not as deep as it is, but I want to make more money. But I want to make
Yes.
more money because I want to have more charitable donations, right?
Mm.
And in order
Mhm.
for me to be able to donate more, and in order for me to be able to do that, I have to have more money. So I really want to focus on making more money because I feel like there are so many things that I would love to do, right?
Mhm.
One of the things that I wanted to focus on this year is sharing more style inspiration. So I kicked off the year. We're doing Styled by Aaronica. There are prompts and everything like that that people are welcome to follow. And it's just about getting dressed, right? We're just getting dressed. I work from home and I know that sometimes being every day, it can be hard for me to get dressed. But if you were not getting dressed, what's the point in making clothes, right?
Right.
There's no point if we're not using it. So um, I want to also get really I'm really excited about this, but I'm focusing on more bra making and like panty making. After my mastectomy, I have found it really hard to find things that fit the shape of and style of my breasts that I have now. And I want to have the sexy lingerie that fits
Yes.
because like I get a lot of gapping, I get a lot of ill fitting, but also because I have an autoimmune, an autoinflammatory disease, I have to be careful about the materials that I use because sometimes I'm in some pain, right?
Right.
So I want to really have some of those things down pat. So
Mhm.
those are some of the things off the top of my head, but I'm so inspired by Julian's idea for what he's doing this year, which of course is doing a bingo card, which I'll let him talk about next and tell us what's on his bingo card.
Okay. So yeah, y'all, me and just goals. Goals is always has been a four-letter word in my book for me. Because it almost took it as a place of just stating new things that I'm gonna fail at previously. Me and goals, it just literally it would just bring up so much anxiety to do goals for me. Um, but we're working through that. And so with that, I have seen it on social media, people talking about doing bingo cards instead, because then it's something that you can easily check off, especially from a visual perspective.
Yeah.
So I've decided to make a bingo card And mine's is like just a standard bingo card. So we going with the regular. I've seen some people do like big boards, like 16, like 12, 16 things on them.
Okay, yeah, I'm
I'm
not
doing nine, a good 3x3,
a good. Okay,
good
let
three
me
by
know
three.
because I said I just told Julian I'm gonna have mine printed out, but I definitely had like okay, maybe mine was on a 16.
See, right. See, and the Lord said no for right now, or at least not now. But and there's certain things I think in this. These are the highlightable things that I really want to try to hit this year. So for me, also releasing indie is important. I think that I just I'm at a point now in sewing that I need new challenges. And there are some designs that I just can't get commercially. And so I'm wanting to create the things that I really want in my head. And if I always had this goal is that I want to be able to fully see it in a magazine, look at it, and be like, you know what? Okay. And take that design and really start to just put it out there. So in some of that, some of these designs that I'm thinking of in my head that's going to be my focus in doing that. Also, this is the first time, I guess, towards the end of last year, where I opened up my mind and opened up the possibilities of seeing how Julian Creates can be an actual thing, for, like a business. It now, no, I made money from Julian Creates, but I've always kept it. I did never wanted to get too big. I am allowing myself to look at the possibilities and dream about if it did, you know?
Mhm.
So I really want to lean more into that and really want to see and this and in doing Julian Craze, that does not mean I'm doing individual custom pieces for people. No, that's not what I want to do. Don't y'all call me asking for that. No. But the teaching, the like merchandise, the notions, those type of things, more
Yeah.
brand deals, more influencing, more instructional stuff, those type of things under Julian Creates and really expanding on that platform as a name, as an expert in certain places, more writing even. That is where I really am putting time and attention to. Um, as well as again, the patterns and stuff that I want to do and the things that I want to make, I'm willing to give myself more time because I don't want to be reliant on a pattern to do it
Yeah.
all the time. Sometimes I really want to do it myself. But also I do have a stretch goal as and one thing that I'm working on, and I had to go and look it up because it is in my YouTube. Now, yes, I was thinking about doing more YouTube videos and stuff this year. I just got a new camera,
Mm.
a little knockoff Osmo Pocket 3 for a lot cheaper, but it's cute. It gives me what I need. Um, but like I think I'm just trying to find ways to ease the burden, like to take some steps out so that I can do that. You know what I'm saying? So that I can do some of these little pieces. But if I have to have like a person inspiration that I'm really looking into, take a second and I want y'all to look up on YouTube. So What's New? So What's New was a show on PBS I think it started in the 70s or 80s by a man named George Tripon. Trippon, George Tripon. Um, and there's even a whole documentary and stuff on him. And when I tell you this man, he gave all types of fabulous. Um, but was really before, like he was before Sewing with Nancy.
Dang, that man was born in 1916.
I know, yeah, he died, and I mean he lived to 93. Um, so and oh, I'm sorry. I had to, yeah. So wait a minute. So the TV show started in like, So What's New was started on the Learning Channel. So TLC before it was TLC, the Learning Channel.
Wow.
And that, yeah. So, but and I think it was longer than that. I want to say, yeah, he began in the 70s on local television, so what's new, and then it moved to the Learning Channel, and it was broadcasted there to the 90s. And sometimes it's fun to watch this on like YouTube and stuff like that, just looking at some of his different things like that. And of course, he taught people and stuff like that, and I really would love to bring some of that energy back because
Yeah.
um, I realized that, and I was looking at some other things, talking about what helps to stop anxiety is creativity, and making stuff and being kind to yourself and stuff like that. So as we live in an anxious world and we're living it through anxious times,
Yes.
how this is something that in my sphere of influence and something that I can do to help with this, something that helps me. So really continuing to share that love through different avenues and stuff like that in this year is what's going to be important. So, but definitely through more instructional videos, definitely more teaching. I still got more to demystify for y'all. Definitely.
Okay. Yes. I got more to demystify. Uh-huh.
So thank you everyone who joined my class in December on demystifying the button up. We will be doing another we'll be doing that class again and doing some other ones. So definitely going to be demystifying the serger and cover stitch. We'll be demystifying pattern matching. We'll be demystifying what pockets and buttonholes and different things like that. There are other things to demystify and get people really using their machines and using the things that they have, but also just helping people get started with machines and all these different things like that. So I'm excited. And even demystifying menswear because people are scared to make it. People are scared to try. And it's really not that hard.
Yeah. Um, I love this and I love this direction that you're taking because in truth, I actually feel like I feel like we are both meant to be out here teaching in
Hmm.
this community, right? Um, because there is a wealth of knowledge that um we have just both obtained throughout life, throughout failing, throughout struggling, throughout successes, throughout freestyling, yet throughout the love of vintage, throughout the love of modern. And like I know when I'm teaching my classes, I let them know the reason why I teach this measurements and adjustments class, which actually have a virtual one coming up January 25th, um, is because this is my way of like paying it forward because of all the fabric and all of the stuff that I have messed up and ended up in the ways. Hey, listen, because you know we are working works in progress. You know what I'm saying?
Look, look,
Girl
if
had to
y'all
grow
ain't know
mercy too.
before,
And so I'd like to save people as much as I can from those feelings of disappointment and failure. Because you know that we design off of a standard scale or a standard
right,
sloper, whatever the sloper is. And if your proportions are not aligned with that sloper, you're gonna have to make some adjustments. And that's okay.
right, right.
Let's adjust and make it fit. So um yeah, very excited about both of our 2025 goals. And I can't wait for us to be able to come together and teach and even join our audiences that way, as well as like get that energy in the same room. We got to figure out when
Yes.
that's going to happen. I actually may already have figured out when that can happen, but we'll talk offline about that.
I love she
Now
just
we're
be
just going to
deciding
stay
stuff
tuned.
for me.
And you know I do because what where Julian goes, Aaronica follows. Where Aaronica goes,
I
here comes
mean,
Julian too. So
I mean, and that's
it's a buy
fine.
one get one free. Okay.
And that's fine. And that's fine. And I might have some things already up my sleeve as well because there are some things that we can't that are already happening.
That we
There are
can't talk
some
about.
wins that are already on the calendar.
The wins are winning. What did Charlie Sheen say when he was high? That tiger blood.
Oh,
Winning.
champ. Look. But so things are already in place. Um, m- and to sound churchy, because it is churchy, my gifts are already making room
Mm-hmm.
in spaces that I have never been to yet.
Mm-hmm.
So, um, and when it's time to share, I cannot wait to share it with you all.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
great things are happening, and I'm excited. So just making sure there is time to do it all because, look, even this month, I do have a new pattern coming out with No Me. It ships out the 17th. of January to store. So I've been so alonging. There you go. And then some other things happening. I already started working on drafting some of my first indie patterns.
And it is fire. Okay.
And what's funny is that I've if you in my group So Manly on Facebook, you might have seen it already. Because I'm not going to be the one to I need to share it as I
Yeah.
do it to
Yeah.
keep me going. That's what works for me. So I've definitely been sharing some of the process. So I'm excited to get back to that. I like the direction that that's going in.
Mhm.
And I'm excited to see it done. And I think people are excited. Like people gave some good, like they really do like it. It's different. It's new.
Different.
So
Yeah. But it's different in a good way, different, not like a different in like
oh, bless your heart. It wasn't
yeah.
a bless your heart moment. Yes.
Yeah. My
I'm
husband is
excited.
very excited. So
And it's actually, I think for people it will be easy because technically, um, there's no placket. Like the things that are, it's a polo, so it's a sports style polo with a different neckline, totally different than what you have seen on regular polo shirts.
mhm.
So like I'm having fun with it, and that's just one that I plan to release. I plan to, hopefully that will be a combination of like three different necklines to choose from. So
I'm geeked. I'm geeked. I'm geeked.
we're working on it. So, but yeah, this is going to be a good year. One thing that I do ask of the audience, and because we still are using Meta for this, the cafe, so
Mhm.
of the Audacity, what are some of your goals this year? What are you planning to work on? What is on your bingo card of life that you want to hit this
Mhm.
year?
I like that the
Let's
part of life because it doesn't have to just be sewing
hell
because we know
no.
that sewing is involved in politics, sewing is involved with grief, sewing is involved with life. So,
Yes.
um, interested in all of that, all of the above. So, yeah. And also, if there is something that's specific that you can think of that either Julian and I could provide content or resources for, please also make sure that you know that we are here to do that as well. Our community would not be community without you. So we also want to make sure that that you recognize that this is we're showing up for you, you guys show up for us. So it is very much so community.
And actually, speaking of that, because I actually got a message from somebody asking about, and I think, and I will put it out here so that we can commit to it next week. Somebody asked about dating their machine, and looking up ways to look up their resources on their machine and stuff like that. So, I'm putting that here that we will come back to that next week
Yes,
so that we
for
can make
sure.
sure that we can talk about like some of the different resources and stuff like that and dive into the history of it all.
Yeah.
Um, and we'll get back to our regular scheduled programming. But again, y'all, rest is restorative. So we're not apologizing for not being here because rest was needed. Because
Hmm.
life,
Life,
and
life.
tried to kick our ass.
And we made it. But guess
Barely, but we did.
what? Hmm.
I mean, I might have been scratched up or two, but you got to look at life. Life look a little worse after I done gave it what for. Had
Yeah.
to had to pull out the razor blade from my cheek
Oh,
and go at it.
not from the cheek. That I
Look,
know about that.
like a hook on the street. Like, look, we had to go to it.
You
But
know it.
we done made it out of 2024. And though it might look like 2025 is about to be crazy, what I do know and what keeps on playing in my head is that you might be tried by the fire, but you'll come out as pure gold. And
Hmm.
that you can live in the world, but not of the world. And things can happen around you, but not to you.
Mm.
So while the craziness is about to just happen,
Hmm.
it will happen around us.
Hmm.
I feel that. That's like there is a sense of calm in it all. That things will happen around me, but not to me.
Mm.
I'll be able to see it. I will be able to navigate through it, but it will not happen to affect me. And while craziness and calamity, I will find blessing and prosperity. So I hope you can receive that for yourself going into this new year as we continue to be audacious, as we continue to speak the truth, speak light, speak love in all situations that we're in, as we continue to speak the T too, because that's important. And
Amen.
so, and create and continue to build the world that we want to see. So until next time, y'all, we glad that y'all back here with us on this ride, and we will continue on. And we hope that in your world where you are, even if it is in the house cold or trying to stay safe in California where there's smoke and everything else, that you're able to stay creative, stay yourself, stay loved, and stay audacious. Till next time, y'all.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.